Hello, my lovelies. Robbie here from Kickback Garage. Now, tomorrow I'm off for a 3 or 4 day jaunt on the old Lambretta area, and I've decided to take the Series 1 for different reasons. And what I'd like to do is show you how I like to pack my scooter for sort of like a 2-3 day trip. So if that's something you're interested in, grab the old coffee. I'll not send the scooter over, I'll roll the intro. That's what I'll do. I'll roll the intro. Come on, whap! Messing around with these cameras, batteries going flat.
Markerte det med regn, alle sprang I lag og ville komme under tak. Ingen av oss merket at du hadde falt I frak, hvorfor valgte du å dra? Hvem I faen kunne se den komme? Da høsten tok over, sa vi hadde bradlet oss sommer.
Well, as you can see on my Series 1, I have just got a miserable but very stylish sprint rack. So what I've done is I blagged myself. I've actually not paid for this. The second time in history I've got something for free. And I think it should do a brilliant job. Now what this is the SLUK what is it? It's a plastic tray jobby. I'm not sure what they call it. But I think I really do like the idea. Now, what you do with this is you fit it to your sprint rack. Now, these can be found for both Series 1 and Series 2. Series 2 obviously has the curved sprint rack, whereas the Series 1 has the flat type sprint rack. So this, I think, should be really cool. And what they do is they supply it with some zip ties so that you can zippy tie it to your rack. Let's see how difficult that is, shall we? It looks a little bit fiddly. What do you reckon? I actually think if I put it in sort of like that, so we'll see if that helps. I mean, will I be able to tighten that up? There's probably some instructions somewhere, but I haven't got a lot of time. No, I think the best way to do it is down that way. It's a little bit fiddly. Let's have a look. Come on, see if I can poke it through the hole again. You bugger! There we go. Oh, no, almost poked it through the hole. That's the trouble with being married. You sort of. I'm not used to holes. Oh, come on, you bugger. There we go. So it's a little bit fiddly to get in there. The nice thing is these zip ties, they are reusable. So they've got a little catch on the end there so you can release it again. So that means that I can use, there you go. Oh, that'd be cool. Once I've got 4 of those on there, that'd be pretty good. I could just put it down there, can't I? Now, another cool feature about this is they've got some extra hooky places to secure your baggage. But what I think I'm going to do is use some bungee straps or some rubber straps or something like that to secure my luggage to the rear of the scooter. Now, I've used sprint racks before in the past. Problem with using a sprint rack on a Series 2, what I use on the back of the sprint rack, I'm talking gibberish. What I normally used to use is a normal dry bag. Now I've got one there. Just let me run and get it. So, just as an example, I've got the old dry bag here, where I put my luggage. This is just my tent. This is actually going to go on the front, but I'll talk about that in a second. The problem with this on a Series 2, without this SLUK rack piece here, is that your baggage tends to sag a little bit and it rubs on your panels. And if you're unlucky and get a bit of a breakdown, you have to take off your side panel for some strange reason. Then you have to have the luggage off as well if you're unlucky, because it normally sort of sags over the panel so you can't pull it off. So that's something I'm going to be testing on this trip. And it's even got cuppy holders. So if you imagine you're out with the lads, if you're camping like I'm going to be doing, I think we're going to have one night in a cabin, I think, if we're lucky. You stood outside, talking with the lads, and you've got yourself a lovely little table there for a couple of beers. I find that quite funny, but actually, as you can see, the can here stands completely square. When you put it on square, it stands completely square, so you've got no chance of spillage there on the evening dew. Right, so let me talk about the other stuff. Not quite, just hang on a second. Actually, I found them quite easy to get in the holes once I've got the technique there. It's actually easier to put them on the inside, put it on the and thread it on the inside hole, push it up from the outside hole. And what I did with the excess is just this excess here is just push it in the hole again. So it sits under there nice and snug. And the nice thing about this is it feels really, really solid. So what that does basically is just gives you a really nice platform for your dry bag. Obviously it's going to be a bit bigger. This is just my tent. I need my sleeping bag and some clothes in there as well. I think the main straps really should go on the rack itself from that loop. You know, the nice thing about this, can you see it? You've got this top part of your rack showing, so you've got somewhere to hook your bungees, your cords, or whatever you use on there. So I think I'll use the main straps here to secure it secure the load properly, and you can use these just to tuck down the ends properly. You've got some holes there as well, so it probably works with bungee cords or anything. You probably can do it in a crisscross sort of situation there. I don't think I'd totally rely on these, and I don't think they say you should do it either. So use your rack to get it down nice and secure your baggage, and use these just to make sure that it's sitting in place. But that really is solid. It's going to be really interesting giving this a try, basically because we're going on the back roads in southern Norway, and they're really, really bumpy, loads of potholes, lots of undulations. So yeah, that should be interesting. Right, let's talk about the rest now then. Right, now we are at the business end of the scooter. Now, for me, the problem with touring with Lambertas, definitely the same thing goes to Vespers as well, is I feel that if I put the brunt of my weight on the back of the scooter, then when you come up to a certain speed, and it does this without weight on the back of the scooter, but it's even worse when you've got luggage on the back. What I feel is the front end goes a little bit light once you get over, say, probably around about 85 kilometers an hour, 90 kilometers an hour, which is what the equivalent to about 60. And we normally cruise around there, I reckon, 90, 95. So what I like to do is, if I have a Leg Shield 2 toolbox, I like to almost completely pack that with two-stroke oil. Now, it might be a Norwegian thing, but in Norway, the petrol stations do sell quality two-stroke oil, but they cost about 30 quid a pop. And because I'm a cheapskate and I really don't like changing brands, then I fill that with oil. So at the moment, I've got 3 litres of Castrol oil in there. And I have got some of my toolkit in the toolbox. And I've got some of the toolkit in the proper toolbox. Now, if you're interested in what I take to rallies, then I'll put a link, I think it comes up here somewhere, to what I like to pack on my scooter at all times. The only thing I've put in here, as well as what's on that video up there, is extra CDI, because this scooter is running normal static Scootronics ignition, and I've got a BGM flywheel on that, and you know, CDIs can be a bit dodgy, so I've got a brand new reserve with me as well. So what that does, that helps enable keep the front wheel down a little bit once you've put some baggage on the back of the scooter. Now, what I used to do in the olden days, I didn't have a rack whatsoever, and I've done this on both Series 1 and Series 2. I've actually used the rack, I think, I went to Oslo once, which is a round trip, about 500 miles on the back roads. What I did there was I actually put oil in the back, and the proper scooter boy way of getting your luggage around with you is I actually used a dry bag and just fit that on my leg shield here and just use some bungee straps to hold it in place. Now what that does is bring some weight over the front wheel. It feels a lot better to ride, I reckon, at least it does. The downside is obviously you've got no room for your left foot, so you normally end up putting your foot a little bit further back or even sort of hooked up. Let's have a sit down on there, or hooked up like this on the panel there while you're riding. I quite like it like that. I've done it for many miles and many rallies. And let's have a look at my microphone is pointing the wrong way. Now I've got this t-shirt without the pocket, which is a bit annoying. Hello. I hope you can hear this better. Anyway, so that's sort of a scooter boy trick if you've got a rack or anything like that. Now, if you haven't got a leg shield toolbox, another trick there, and I did this on a Vespa. I had a Vespa GS. Oh, I love that thing. I had a Vespa GS. What I did there when I went to a rally in Oslo again is actually just had a big rucksack, because I had no real rack on that thing. I just had a big rucksack that I put on the inside of the leg shield here, and used the shoulder straps like over the leg shield and just clipped it over there, and that sat really well. And I got quite a lot of stuff with me and some weight over the front wheel there again. This is my secret weapon for this rally. It's the first time I've actually fitted one of these. It's obviously a front rack. This is a Cupini for the Series 1. The obvious disadvantage for the Series 1 is the fact you've got the light here and not up there. So I can't have anything too high at the front here. But what I've done is modified this slightly. I have, if you can see here, the hooks that hook onto the leg shields here, I fit with what's it called? Shrink wrap, shrinky wrap. You know, like the insulation stuff. So I've crimped that on there, and I've crimped a bit on where this rod goes into the bracket here, because it was rattling a little bit. I don't really want that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to fit my sleeping bag. What have I got in here? It's my sleeping bag, sleeping pad. I've got a microfiber towel. I use the microfiber ones because when we're on trips like this in Norway, I want to be able to dry my towel, and those dry quite quick. So if I get up early in the morning, have a shower, dry myself off, I can hang that over the scooter or something so that I'll dry, ready for the next day. So what I have to do is try and fit this so that it's not too tall. And I did have it on here, just like 5 minutes ago, but I thought I'd take it off just to show you the rack. Yeah, much better. That was a better idea, Rob. So if I put it like that on the outside there, and the nice thing about these, because they're rubberized, they sort of grip your rack too. There you go, that's better. I can get it. Good purchase on that, and that's well clear of my light. I can actually go a little bit further there. Obviously don't want to snap them. That would be fun. I can do one more, I reckon. Like that. And I'll, like I said, tuck them under there. Stops flapping and rattling. That's something you don't really want when you go into the rallies. You really want to try and sound or listen to the sound of pinking. Right, yeah, solid, man, solid. Cool. Before you go, I want to talk to you about something else. Right, my lovelies, there's one other thing that I've seen a lot of the lads do, in at least the guys that go to a lot of rallies and that in England, or the UK. And what it is you can also fit motorcycle pannier bags. Now, I tend to try not to fit too much on my scooter anyway. And all I take clothes-wise is like this long weekend here, I'm just going to have a couple of pairs of shorts, some boxer shorts, a couple of new t-shirts. I'll throw my waterproofs in there as well on the back there. And that's about it really, toothbrush and shower gel. But what you can fit is these pannier bags that are like soft pannier bags. And what you do with those is, if I can lift up my seat. Oh, I've got my key there. Don't do that, Rob. So what you do with those is you sort of fit them over the side panel here, because they sort of sit over the sides there, and then you've got them on the side panel. Obviously, you can't really do that if you're running two up. Maybe you could squidge them back a bit, but you're losing a little bit of leg room for your pillion. That's also quite a good idea, actually. The only thing is you do put a lot of weight on the rear suspension, so remember to tighten that up. If you've got, like me, got one of the chisel speed or ProTune shocks, you can put a bit more preload on there, which is pretty handy. And that sort of replicates you having a pillion, so that's probably better than having the whole of the weight on the back. That's why I'm not too keen on, even though I've got like the rear rack and spare wheel on that one, I quite like to put a little bit more weight on the front. So yeah, so that seems like quite a good idea. The only thing is, if you've not got a scooter that's as shabby as mine, then put some, I think they use like anti-slip mats or something like that on the side there. So you can actually get quite a bit on a scooter. And the lads that came over here, is it 3 years ago you was over here? I can't remember. I think it was something like that. Maybe 4 years. We've had Corona. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, they brought with them the whole kitchen sink, I think. They had so much luggage with them. It was just ridiculous. I really like to try and keep it light, as I said. And even though in Norway we do not have AA recovery, so we're not using a recovery van or anything like that, but we're staying pretty local and sort of within about 300 miles. So if I break down, I'm buggered. But hopefully she should prove reliable. We'll see that in the next video. I think I'm going to film the rally. Well, it's not a rally. Film the ride and show you some of the roads down here in southern Norway. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, do the old subscribe, do the like, thumbs up or thumbs down, doesn't matter. And if you want to support the channel, don't forget you can buy a t-shirt, you can even buy caps and stuff like that, or you can simply buy me a coffee. And love you and leave you. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra! Messing around with these cameras, batteries going flat.
Markerte det med regn, alle sprang I lag og ville komme under tak. Ingen av oss merket at du hadde falt I frak. Hvorfor valgte du å dra? Hvem I faen kunne se den komme? Da høsten tok over, sa vi hadde bratt la oss som